May admin order siya na kung saan those cases na final September 7 to September 16 would be removed from the docket. So meaning to say, hindi dapat siya actionan. And you know what? Dalawang bagay ang naapektuhan at that time sa time frame na yan. First is yung final na case ni Mayor Baste Duterte against Remulla. And second is the suspension order of Vince Dizon sa mga district engineers. Kasi nakapasok siya sa timeline na yon September 7 to September 16. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali sa timeline na yan ha. Yan lang yung target sa admin order, but because Ombudsman is an independent body and Vargas allegedly said yes daw if he can deliver, so ang nangyari is yun na nga, successful sila sa pinaggagawa nila. Okay, so ang nangyari is this, nakakuha ng clearance si Remulla sa Ombudsman. It is because yung case na final sa kanya wala nang silbi, wala nang value.
Shout out sa Reaction Vlog, YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Mabuhay kayo.
Hello, maayong hapon. I'm with VTO Moreno. Asa ka, Day?
Hi, going somewhere.
Sakit ka, Day?
Oh, you know what? For 15 days that I was in Europe, hindi ako nagkasakit. Only now that I'm currently in the most dirty, congested cities.
Ayaw niya mag-jeep. Bakit ayaw mo mag-jeep?
Uy, bala ka dyan, hindi ako nag-jeep sa Davao dito pa. Never. Kahit maubos na yung laman ng Gcash and Gcash for Grab.
Asan yung yung bago mong
Oh yeah. Hi everyone. Nandito lang kami para guluhin ang mga ninyo kasi we're so bored.
Wow, ang ganda naman.
Super thin. Nilagyan ko lang siya ng Ito pagkita ko sa kanila.
Anipis.
Yeah. Wait.
Ano yan? Free na yan?
Ha?
Free yung case.
Yeah, free.
Ganda no. Ang ganda.
That's very thin.
Wow, nipis.
Tapos parang paper lang siya, guys.
Ang papel lang.
So bili na kayo ng iPhone Air. But the problem is, I still need to contact my network provider since yung SIM ko, wala siyang auto, eSIM. So, even if i-transfer ko siya here, hindi siya mag-i-eSIM. So, ang gagawin ko na lang is I have to contact my provider so they can provide me the QR code so I can use that.
Nagalit kasi siya kanina nung isang araw kaya bumili siya ng phone.
Yeah.
So, anong update? Anong balita?
Ay, grabe na yung ganap. So guys, sige ako naman, i-take over ko yung mo kasi nasa mood ako makipag-chismisan sa mga followers mo. But before that, don't forget to send stars.
Dahil wala lang.
Wala lang. I-support nyo naman si Paolo. Oo. Okay. So, guys, I'm one of those few people in my platform sa social media who has been saying na we are doomed. Diba? Sinasabi ko sa inyo, I posted about the Ombudsman thing. I wrote about it, and on my analysis, I told my I told my followers, I told my supporters, I told my readers na the goal really is to appoint Remulla in the office of the Ombudsman, not because of his willingness to investigate corruption perpetrated by the powerful, but to really remove VP Sara from the equation so that it would be easier for them to there's no signal here so that it would be easier for them easier for them to win the 2028 elections. Okay, now ang sinasabi ko is this: when I wrote about it, I was labeled fake news peddler, delusional, and yung imagination ko daw is very wild. Now,
Invento
daw, magaling daw ako mag-imbento ng kwento. And now, na pala nyo, hindi kayo naniwala sa akin.
Look what's happening.
Diba? Look what's happening. BBM has just chosen Remulla to be the next ombudsman. Now, sinabi ko yan dati. Sinabi ko yan dati na yung mga ganap nila, yung mga drama nila, there was an information floating kasi, don't quote me on this ha, this information did not come from me, I just heard this, so maybe, sige, consider it as hearsay. So, di ba may acting ombudsman na babae before, if I'm not mistaken, her name is Justice Castillo, kung hindi ako nagkakamali. So, si Justice Castillo was actually pressured to sign the clearance of Remulla so that he would be shortlisted ng JBC for his application na maging next ombudsman. That person did not follow the instruction. So, because of that, she was replaced by Dante, yung acting ombudsman si Dante Vargas. And allegedly daw, pinatawag daw si Dante Vargas sa Malacanang. Allegedly ha, sige, chismis lang to, consider this as chismis para hindi ako makulong, hindi ako makasuhan. So allegedly daw, pinatawag daw ito si Vargas sa Malacanang, and he was asked if he can deliver. And the answer was, yes, I can deliver. So yun, nangyari na. Si Vargas, nagpalabas yan ng admin order, EO or admin order. Medyo gutom ako, wala pa kaming kain, galing ako DOJ actually. So pasensyahan niyo na, hindi ko na recall yung may jet lag pa din ako. So may admin order siya na kung saan those cases na final September 7 to September 16 would be removed from the docket. So meaning to say, hindi dapat siya actionan. And you know what? Dalawang bagay ang naapektuhan at that time sa time frame na yan. First is yung final na case ni Mayor Baste Duterte against Remulla. And second is the suspension order of Vince Dizon sa mga district engineers. Kasi nakapasok siya sa timeline na yon September 7 to September 16. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali sa timeline na yan ha. Yan lang yung target sa admin order, but because ombudsman is an independent body and Vargas allegedly said yes daw if he can deliver, so ang nangyari is yun na nga, successful sila sa pinaggagawa nila. Okay, so ang nangyari is this, nakakuha ng clearance si Remulla sa ombudsman. It is because yung case na final sa kanya wala nang silbi, wala nang value, di ba, na docket na yon, tapos parang na-remove siya from the docket. So hindi na dapat actionan. And the next thing na mangyayari is yung mga district engineers na involved sa flood control projects na yan, yung sinuspend is pwede din nilang i-question yung suspension nila, because nga how can you suspend someone for something that does not even exist? Kasi nga yung time frame na from September 7 to September 16 nga, may order nga si Vargas na i-redocket or i-remove from the docket yon. So, di ba? Grabe yung ginagawa nila ngayon. So, si Lacson nag-resign as chairperson of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Now, if yung mga district engineers na yun, yung involved sa mga flood control project corruption na yan, is magpipetition because nga bakit sila sinuspend ng ombudsman, wala nga, there was no complaint to begin with, there was no suspension notice to begin with kasi nga tinanggal nga ni Vargas, ganyan. So pwede nilang mailaban, so walang accountability. So pwede nilang ilaban, they can fly away like a na ganyan. So pwede silang lumabas ng bansa, ganyan. So there will be no accountabilities anymore. And because nag-stop na ang Senate Blue Ribbon Committee under Lacson, so wala nang patutunguhan lahat ng investigations. This is the pattern that I have been telling you all people from the Philippines. Okay? Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na the plan really is to bleed dry the government's coffer, because even if they don't win in 2028, they are still the most powerful individuals sa Philippines, because nga hawak na nila lahat ng pera, hawak na nila lahat ng kayamanan ng Pilipinas. And sino yung talo dito? Tayo, taong bayan. Regardless of our political leaning, regardless of our political color, tayo yung sasalo lahat ng mga ginagawa ng Marcos administration, ng mga kaibigan ni Marcos sa ating bansa. Okay, now going back to VP Sara. So earlier, in one of Remulla's interviews, he mentioned that the first order of business is actually to review VP Sara's salin for irregularities. Ano ang sinasabi ko sa inyo before? they are planning to file a plunder case against VP Sara. And they can do so by, making a big deal of her salin. Okay? Yung salin na issue na yan, ginamit na po yan nila when they impeach CJ Corona.
Yes.
Now, because the maneuver of Romualdez na i-remove si VP Sara through impeachment sa House of Representatives failed big time. So, they are now weaponizing and utilizing the office of the Ombudsman para i-convict or file ng multiple cases si VP Sara, si Kong Pulong, si Mayor Baste and their allies. So ano ang mangyayari dyan? Yung mga allies ng mga Duterte, they would turn their back because they are in fear that the Ombudsman will file a case against them.
Correct.
So nakikita ninyo? So meaning to say, it's a pattern of eliminating the people who are helping out the Dutertes or who play a key role in the 2028 election, in the upcoming 2028 elections. Ang dami ko ng chika, wapang nagsend ng stars. So magpaulan kayo ng stars. Intermission muna tayo.
Ang dami ko ng chika.
May troll dito, pangit pa naman. Si Miko Miki Kabatuan Trinidad.
Hayaan mo siya dyan, deserve niya yan na bash ng mga tao.
Hanapin nyo yan siya. Kung feeling ako naka-lock account yan, hanapin nyo pati pamilya niya. Tapos, kulkugin nyo yung lola niya. Kulkugan na ang iyang lola.
May time talaga siya dyan, no? Pwede naman
May
siya
time
dumating.
talaga siya, oo. Shout out to Alvin and Tourism and Lucky Charm and Shasha May. Thank you for sending stars. Okay. So yun. So diba? Sorry. Sinasabi din na ang fake news kasi is time bound.
Yes.
'Di ba? Fake news ngayon, totoo bukas or maybe totoo in the upcoming days, in the upcoming years, in the upcoming months, ganyan. So, 'di ba? So, yung argument talaga na fake news peddler ka or fake news ka, hindi, because time is the ultimate truth teller. So, itie back ko lang siya sa first argument ko kanina. I was labeled fake news peddler by saying na Bongbong Marcos would choose Remulla as the next ombudsman because nga delusional lang daw ako, grabe daw yung imagination ko, and ano nangyari ngayon. So, they first labeled me as fake news peddler, but the supposed fake news na na pinedal ko daw ay nagkatotoo. So sino ang fake news peddler ngayon? Sila na naglabel sa akin or ako na nagsasabi ng mga premonitions ng mga visions ko or yung mga analysis ko kung ano ang mangyayari. Ano ang dapat gagawin? Ito. Lumabas kayo sa mga bahay ninyo, mag-protest kayo, but the goal is not in Mindanao or in Visayas, but to go here in Luzon, to go to the House of Representatives or Malacanang. Okay? Kausapin niyo yung mga neighbors ninyo na yan na talaga because wala na tayong magagawa eh. Again, regardless of your political leaning, regardless of your political color, tayong lahat ang affected nito kasi nga walang pakialam ang Marcos administration. Thank you Jen Kuwams for the 1,000 stars. Na-appreciate namin yan. Okay? So, yun na, magsilabasan kayo. Peaceful, I advocate for peaceful protest. But if you guys think but if you guys think na pwede nating i-pull off ang, mala Indonesia na atake, kayo na ang bahala dyan. Pero ang sa akin is I'm advocating for a peaceful protest. Okay? So, according to Helen Bratter, well, thank you by the way sa 800 stars. The new ombudsman used to be a governor, parang lang putting the accused in charge of the investigation. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. Okay? There is nothing fake sa imuhang gipang istorya, Sir Tio. Si Alvin. Hi Alvin, miss you. Hindi. Nawala ko. Putang ina. Nawala. Hindi ko na alam sasabihin ko. I was about to tell them something eh.
Thank you for that. You would like to add something sa sinabi ni ma'am?
Oh yeah. Ito din. If you check the 1987 Constitution, it says that the ombudsman should be independent and it should not be, parang non-verbatim ito ha. I'll try to explain lang sa inyo. Baka sabihin nyo naman na hindi yan ang sinabi ng Constitution. Bobo na talaga. Ang sinasabi ng Constitution is this, the ombudsman should be independent and it should be free from political influence. So nakikita na, so dapat ang nandyan is not a politician, kasi pag i-follow natin if ano yung provision ng Constitution, kung independent ka, so dapat hindi ka politician or you don't have any family members na nasa political landscape, because nga ang powerful kasi sa Pilipinas ay mga politiko. So ang iniimbestigahan ng ombudsman ay yung mga politicians natin or yung mga leaders natin.
Correct.
Na ang nangyari is Remulla comes from a political dynasty. Secretary of Interior and Local Governance, DILG, si kapatid niya, sino yun? Sino Remulla? Sino yan? Yung isa?
Yung isa, oo.
Oh, yung kapatid niya basta si Remulla. Yung mga other relatives niya nasa Cavite ata, if I'm not mistaken, politiko din. Now, kung may complaint against those politicians about their public, activities, about their public, anong tawag dyan? Public service. Kung may mga complaint against that na ipa-file sa ombudsman, sino ang magbablock? Of course, the ombudsman himself, Crispin Boying Jesus Crispin Boying Remulla. So ang makikita natin, there will be no accountability at all na. Okay? Kasi political dynasty yan eh. Of course, alangan naman ipa-jail or i-investigate niya ang kanyang own family members. Di ba? Alangan naman i-investigate niya, alangan naman traidorin niya yung kapatid niya na Secretary of the ILG ngayon. Tama? Di ba? So wala, useless na. Ang expect na ang gagawin nila ngayon is really more into eliminating their enemies. Ang enemies nila ngayon si VP Sara, yung mga allies ng mga Duterte, and for sure si Congressman Miao Miao, si Kiko Barzaga. May ombudsman case yan one of these days kasi he is speaking against the Marcos administration.
Correct. For sure.
Yan si Toby Chanco.
Kayo nga.
Kasi 'di ba, ang sinasabi ni Toby Chanco, maraming naging proponent si Zaldico ng almost 400 billion or 41 billion kung hindi ako nagkakamali about the flood control project na issue na yan. So for sure, kakasuhan na naman yan. There will be administrative and criminal cases to be filed against Toby Chanco, kay Cheese Escudero, kasi si Cheese hindi niya finalo yung call to continue the impeachment trial of VP Sara. So tapos yan. So dalawa na ang weapon ng Marcos administration. He holds the COMELEC and he holds the ombudsman.
Correct.
COMELEC is a key player when it comes to election issues. Kaya nga yung mga allies nila, si Benny Abante, pumasok pa kahit hindi naman binoto ng taong bayan. Kasi hawak nila ang COMELEC. So ngayon na naman, hawak na naman nila ang ombudsman. Oh wow, thank you so much Helen Bratter for the 2,500 stars.
Thank you.
So, yun na yun. Tapos ano pa ang sinasabi ni Bongbong Marcos sa appointment niya? Wala daw sinasanto. Kung walang sinasanto, dapat si Remulla, first order of business is to investigate Martin Romualdez. Diba? Ang Congress kasi guys, especially the House of Representatives, they have the power of the purse. Tama ba? Kung hindi ako nagkakamali ha? Power of the purse. Meaning to say, sila yung nag-allocate ng budget ng Pilipinas. Kaya nga sinasabi ni VP Sara na 2 tao lang ang may hawak ng budget ng Pilipinas, si Zaldico as head of the Committee on Appropriations and si Martin Romualdez who approved the appropriations na ginagawa sa House of Representatives. Yan yung katotohanan dyan. So isa pa ha, another issue na dapat pagtuunan ninyo ng pansin is this. During the budget deliberation ng Office of the President, billions of money ang involved, by the way, okay? Just to emphasize that, just to highlight that for you to understand the context. Hindi pinatawag si BBM to defend the budget of the Office of the President. Sino nandun? Executive Secretary, Undersecretary, and Assistant Secretaries lang ang nandun. billions of money. Pero itong House of Representatives, they are really forcing VP Sara to be there to defend the budget of the Office of the Vice President that is only around 900 million. Before, 733 million lang, but sa new budget request, may additional na 200 million because nga sa inflation, guys, yung mga ano ba, anong tawag dyan, yung mga sa purchase, anong tawag dyan, nag-increase na yung price ng mga ganyan-ganyan. So kaya may additional na ilang million. So from 733 ata, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, naging 900 million yung yung request ng Office of the Vice President. Pero Laila de Lima wants to zero the budget of the Office of the Vice President. She wants she advocates to decrease the budget of the Office of the Vice President. So nakikita niyo na yung pattern. It's not really about accountability. It's not about holding someone accountable for a wrongdoing. It is eliminating the biggest obstacle for the 2028 national elections. Yan talaga yon. Kasi ganito ang mangyayari, guys. If VP Sara wishes to run as president in 2028, of course, may line-up yan siya. Senatorial line-up, congressional line-up, mga ganyan, party list line-up, mga ganyan. And of course, di ba, she still has the highest and the highest mandate ever happened in the Philippine election history. 32 million hindi pa unbeatable pa yan. The recent election only showed you 27 million with Bongo being the bearer of that mandate. Pero 32 million, hindi nila kayang talunin yan. So if that 32 million, lalo na sa lineup ni VP Sara, mag-vote straight ang mga tao dyan, sa mga senators, ganyan. So lahat magiging lineup ni VP Sara from 2028 onwards. So ano ang mangyayari? Mawawalan sila ng papel, mawawalan sila ng chance na bumalik sa kanilang opisina. And there will be reset na mangyayari because of course, saltik lang ang walang
lintik lang.
Lintik lang ang walang ganti. Ano yung kasabihan sa Tagalog na ganyan? So, yan yung mangyayari. So, they are really doing everything to bring VP Sara down because nga, she is the only person who can put them all to inidoro in 2028. Yan. And guys, wag kayong mawala ng pag-asa. We still have the power. Ang kapangyarihan ng mga politiko na binoto natin emanate from us. Nanggaling yan sa atin lahat. What I want you to do is to wake up and to dig deeper sa mga pangyayari sa bansa natin. Go out, raise your voices, and call for Bongbong Marcos resignation or call for congressmen to impeach Bongbong Marcos, to jail Martin Romualdez and Zaldico, and to also hold Remulla accountable for illegally arresting our former president and brought him to The Hague. Ang daming cases na final meaning to say since ombudsman na yan si Remulla, i-clear niya yon si Torre, i-clear na yon si Marbel, i-clear niya yung kapatid niya na si Remulla sa DILG. So walang nangyayari. The consequence of his appointment as the ombudsman is to clear every case filed against Marcos allies and Marcos cronies.
Demonyo, no?
Diba? Grabe. Nakakawalang gana actually, pero do not lose hope. While, Tatay Digong is currently detained in The Hague, he's still, parang kumukuha siya ng lakas galing sa taong bayan.
Will bounce back.
So same with VP Sara, despite the political persecution, humuhugot din siya ng lakas because nakikita niya pag nagbibisita siya sa mga Pilipino sa iba't ibang lugar, nakikita niya yung level of support, especially in Visayas and Mindanao. Nakikita niya yon solid. So nasa atin pa rin ang kapangyarihan. Now again regardless of your political leaning, DDS ka ba, kakamping ka ba, enabler ka ba ng mga mga terorista, or independent ka ba, neutral ka ba, again, tayong lahat ang talo po kasi the goal of Bongbong Marcos is to bleed dry the government's money, the taxpayers' money, para sila pa rin ang in control even if they don't win in 2028. Sila pa rin ang in control sa economy natin. Sila pa rin yung oligarchs na kung saan lahat ng mga politicians magbabow down sa kanila and makukuha nila ang lahat nilang ang kailangan nilang kunin sa ating bansa. Ito na ang ginawa ng ama before, remember? 'Di ba? Ginawa na to ng ama, kinuha niya lahat. So even if pinaalis pa sila sa Pilipinas, pumuntang Hawaii, 'di ba? Afford pa rin nila ilagay sa freezer ang putang inang Marcos na 'yun.
Ayan na, guys. Ayun, napagod na si Tio kakatalak. So, thank you for watching. Update kami kung ano man later. So, pahinga ka na, Mamshi. At kami ay naha-high blood na rin kagaya ninyong lahat. So, don't lose hope and I'll see you guys soon.